Stephen Langa, and I'm the Executive Director of Family Life Network, an organization that is working to bring restoration to family values and morals in our society. Today, we've come together as parents in a parents' consultation. And the thing that we are consulting about is this issue of giving children of 10 years contraceptives. We've seen this in the media recently, and it has caused a national uproar that children as young as 10 years are being given contraceptives. We gather it is a policy that has been passed that is giving children of 10 years contraceptives. Now, we want to say that as parents, we strongly condemn this act of giving young children of 10 years contraceptives. How can you give a child of 10 years contraceptives? Don't you who is doing this have a child? Aren't you a parent? Aren't you a responsible person? How on earth can you do that? And so as parents, we strongly come out and we condemn this act. The age of consent in our nation is 18 years. And if the age of consent is 18 years, how can somebody give contraceptive to a minor, a child? In other words, you are abating or encouraging defilement. You are encouraging sexual abuse of children. That's what it's tantamount to. And besides, the issue of children is the responsibility of parents. If a child is sexually active, that is the responsibility of a parent, not the responsibility of medical workers. If a child gets pregnant, that's the responsibility of a parent. Bring that child to me as a parent, I will know what to do. I'm an adult, I know what to do with my child if they get pregnant. Not for somebody to get my child and begin to give them all kinds of things which can affect their lives in the future. So for that matter, we strongly condemn this, and we say that we want to take on our parental responsibility to look after our children, to parent them, to teach them sex education and things like that. As for medical people, treat our children when they are sick. But for goodness sake, don't give our children contraceptives. And we've heard also that there are organizations that are sponsored with the money from overseas that are giving our children contraceptives. We warn them, and we say to you who are doing that, that we are appalled by what you're doing. For goodness sake, leave our children alone. Leave our children alone. We are responsible for our children, and we want their welfare. We want their future to be bright. Because if you give a child contraceptive at 10 years, what kind of future is that child going to have? What kind of mother, what kind of citizen is that child going to be? So because of that, we strongly condemn this.
My name is Alex Matovu. I am a lawyer by profession, an advocate of the High Court, a partner with Signum Advocates. And I just want to say something about the sexuality policy that has come up, the sex policy on sexual and reproductive health. Of course, the media has been awash with this particular policy and what the medics have to say and what everyone has to say about it. What I need to emphasize is that in Uganda, there's a hierarchy of laws. And the hierarchy is that the Constitution is the grand norm. It is the supreme law. Every other law, policy, framework, talk about whatever you want to talk about that will regulate a particular aspect, it must be in line with the Constitution. The Constitution of Uganda allows parents, in fact mandates parents to take up the responsibility of raising their children and protecting them against any sort of abuse or exploitation. Now, it is important to clearly spell out that any other law, regulation, policy, call it whatever you want to call it, that is not in line with the Constitution, that is repugnant with the principles and the spirit of the Constitution, is not legal. It is challengeable in law. And whatever is being mentioned, I haven't gotten a lot of time to read through the guidelines and the policy that is being talked about, but in as much as it is inconsistent with the Constitution, it should not stand. And what we feel as people that believe that parents have a stake in what their children should be having, and them being the primary source of what their children should be given as education, of whatever sort. We believe that if there is a provision, as it has been said in this policy, that says that children can consent or get into use of contraceptives without the consent or mandate of their parents, that is clearly illegal. Why it is illegal is that the age of consent in Uganda and in most of the African countries is actually 18 years. So any activity that a child chooses to get into must be subject, a person below 18 years, it must be subject to the consent of the parent. Anything short of that cannot stand, and it is inconsistent with the Constitution, and it is challengeable. I want to assure all parents that your hands are not tied. You have a lot that you can do about this. You can participate in policy making. You can participate in holding leaders accountable, because they are trustees of you. They are your trustees. You elect them to go and debate and come up with policies for you. So by all means, you should be able to hold them accountable. But also, we should arise as a community, as a nation, to say that our laws, policies, frameworks, whatever it is, must be a reflection of the values and norms of the people. If they're not consistent with what we believe is good for this nation and for the sustainability of our generation, then it shouldn't stand.
So we are appealing to all parents all over the country. We are launching today a signing of a petition. We are going to take a petition to the authorities. And so we are asking every parent in this country to sign the petition. We are going to take our time. We don't want to do it in a hurry. So parents, wherever you are, be ready. We are going also to put the thing on a social media platform as well as the internet. So some of you be ready to sign through the internet. Some of you be ready to sign on hard copy. We shall be sending this signature page all over the country, because every parent should give their opinion on this matter. And that's what we want to do. So we're calling on all parents to do that. And for the government and the organizations that are doing this at the moment, we are calling upon you to please, we call on your parental side and your parental heart. For goodness sake, do the right thing. Let's give a chance to the children of our nation.